information, and some of you might be in front of, I mean, most of you would be in front of your laptop, right? This information is available right away when you go under growth. There is a performance overview. Under performance overview, there is a search traffic report, right? What the search traffic report tells you is what are your products which are selling well, what are the products which are getting good impressions, page views, and units, and overall, what are your conversions looking like. What this directly tells me is of the products that I have, which set of products are getting enough impressions. Impression basically is how many customers are able to see my product, how many customers, depending on their search, whatever they're searching for, how many of them are seeing my product, how many of them are clicking on a particular product and getting the product details, and how many of these views are actually converting to units, are actually converting to sales, right? This is a very powerful part of seller dashboard, which everyone should constantly be tracking on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure all of you will be having some star products in your portfolio, few products which maybe in your offline setup they're selling really well, and for some reason you also want to grow the business online as well, right? So I would highly recommend you to go to the search traffic report and evaluate how each of your products are performing. Now from this, it is very straightforward for me. If my product is not getting enough impressions, I should definitely go and increase the visibility of my products. Now, how to increase visibility? The most straightforward way of doing that is signing up for a product listing ad, right? So if I was to analyze this data, how I would do that is, say for example, I would come to growth performance overview. I will come to search traffic report. I will download the data for the last time period. So we give data for a particular time range, which you can now download from this page itself, right? So you can apply your time filters on the left. If you see the top graphs and all automatically get adjusted, and then you can download this data, right? After you download this data, you should definitely look at how many impressions that you're getting, and for products which you think you should definitely boost, you should put those products for a product listing ad. How to put for a product listing ad is also very straightforward. Again, on the header, you have an advertising section. You can go to advertising. You can again create a new campaign. While creating campaign, you have some recommendations as well, or you can upload any set of listings manually, right? After going through your products, what visibility they're all getting, you can make a very informed decision on which products you want to put under a PLA. And after you put a particular product for PLA, you will immediately see, and of course you need to add some money to your wallet. You enter the right ideal cost per click. We have some recommendations for what is the ideal cost per click you should be setting as well, right? Once you go through this entire process, from the next day itself, you should be able to see an improvement in your impressions for those products, right? This is an immediate inorganic way in which you can improve visibility, right? And of course, you can see there are dashboards part of the advertising section which directly give you for every improved visibility what are the units sold as well. And typically what we have seen is products which are getting very high visibility, it's very rare that they don't get a sale. Now, the second possibility is a product gets enough visibility, but it's not getting enough product page views, or it's not getting enough units. For that also, the analysis, you can break it down to a much simpler scenario. For products, if they have very high visibility, but they're getting very low units, there should be something wrong in the product description or the product catalog, right? This basically means customers are coming, seeing your products, clicking on the products, and they're coming into the particular page as well. But after that, they're not purchasing from you. There are multiple reasons this could happen as well. One, as I mentioned, could be your catalog quality. It highly depends on the number of images that you have. What we have typically seen is products which have 4 or 5 plus high resolution images which clearly denote how your product looks. They have much better conversions than other products. So you should aim to have at least 4 or 5 good quality images for your products. The second aspect is catalog completeness. So I'm pretty sure because everyone is in a hurry, everyone is constantly looking to improve business, we only fill up the mandatory attributes for your catalog, right? So the optional attributes, they are optional because we see those also critically impact how many people convert and buy your products. So I would also highly recommend people filling up their optional attributes as well, and ensure that when customers come to a product page, they get a complete detailed view of how their products perform, what are the types of products and things like that, right? Another area you can possibly, there are other areas that you can definitely look at. One is your rating. The product rating plays a significant role in conversions, right? You can see your product ratings as well when you go under performance overview, when you go to average product ratings. This also gives a deep dive into what are the ratings for each of your products. One thing that you should also take very seriously are your reviews that you're getting for each and every product, right? We also have seen that historically products which are rated well and which have good reviews have much better conversions, right? So for you can also do a complete analysis of your portfolio. What are the products which have good ratings, bad ratings, etc., etc., because these also impact your overall seller ratings. We also know, you guys also must have realized that seller ratings also plays a role in your products getting sales, right? So these are two aspects that you should definitely consider. The other possible reason why sales are not happening could be your procurement SLAs. Some of you might be part of the FBF program, so that also gives you the F assured tag, and this definitely has a much better conversion in sales. Some of you might also be part of the Smart Fulfillment program, which also gets the F assured tag. There is a significant jump in sales. If you're not part of any of these programs, you should definitely optimize for your procurement SLA. We see a significant jump in sales if your procurement, the lower your procurement SLA is. So ideal scenario should be you sign up for the express program and you keep your proc SLA at 2 hours. Otherwise, worst case scenario, you should keep it at 1 or 2 days. Anything more than that, customers are not going to want to buy your product because your procurement SLA is much longer. So it's going to take a much longer time for somebody to receive the products at their doorstep, right? Even when we are shopping, we are constantly looking for faster deliveries. So that is the same expectation that customers on Flipkart also come with. So we should also optimize for that so that your sales conversion increases. The other possibility also is if you are selling latched on products. By latched on, I mean your product is not unique. There are multiple sellers also selling your same product. We have a separate recommendation also for you, which comes under the price recommendations section. So when you go to growth and opportunities, there is a separate card that you will see for price recommendations. So there, in case you are selling products which are sold by multiple other sellers as well, we give a buy now recommendation for everyone. What this basically does is at what price can you possibly optimize, how can you optimize your price such that you get the buy button. And we also know that a good chunk of sales happens to listings which have the buy button, right? So you can also optimize your price accordingly so that you have a winning bid for the buy button. So I would also highly recommend that you look at price suggestions and you also take some of these price suggestions so that you win the buy button. If you win the buy button, definitely your sale is going to be much higher, right? So please also look at the price suggestions section. There are other ways also through which we could generate some of these price suggestions and we deliver it to you. So have a look at this, play around with this page and take some of these suggestions. It will definitely help in you getting some sales. Another thing that we have also seen is customers are also constantly looking for products which are on a sale, which basically means they want to have some kind of a discount call out, right? So you should also constantly keep looking at Flipkart promotions. You should definitely sign up for any deal of the day or deal of the week, because a big advantage that you get with any of these deal of the day or deal of the week, or it's the same with any festival offer as well, or with BBD or May sale or any of these sale offers as well, because these get a specific call out on the merchandising page. When you go to flipkart.com, you will see a separate section for deal of the day, and only listings which are part of the deal of the day get visibility over there. This also gives a significant boost to your impressions and your page views. And after that, anyway, a good chunk of them are going to convert to your sales, right? So what we have covered till now are just around your conversion insights, which is you going through performance overview and sales traffic report, you analyzing how your products have been performing in the recent past, which products are getting enough visibility versus not getting enough visibility. For visibility, we covered how you can use advertising to boost this visibility on flipkart.com. Also, we also looked at for products which are getting enough visibility but are not getting enough sales. We looked at few options like price recommendations that you can check, price optimizations that you can possibly do, promotions that you can possibly look for. We also discussed about improving your procurement SLA and keeping it as low as possible, maybe even signing up for the express program. We also looked at how important FO badge is. So signing up for a FBF, signing up for Flipkart fulfillment or for smart fulfillment, how that is also going to improve because it gives you the FO tag. Of course, these are programs that we also are very critical about. So we also have a lot of filtering. But procurement SLA is definitely something that you can play around with. We also looked at how you should go through your ratings and reviews, because a good chunk of reviews also indicate how your return why your returns are happening. Like if whenever people are returning, in case they had a bad experience, they are definitely going to write a review, whether there could be a size fit issue, it could be a color issue, it could be a performance issue. A lot of these insights you also get from your from an analysis of your reviews and reviews comments. So you can get a lot of feedback also, whether are people not liking your are people not liking your products, are people not liking your service, right? Another thing that also plays a big role in your seller ratings are your service quality, right? Service quality typically refers, if you go to performance overview, there's a separate section for service quality. This directly maps to how many seller cancellations that you have, how many dispatch breaches that you have, how many pickup reattempts that you have, etc. You should also constantly track these metrics and ensure that you are well within the permissible range, because impact on any of these things is going to impact your service quality. Your service quality is going to impact your seller score, and your seller score is going to impact your conversions that you get for the products that you have, right? This is specifically around improving the sales of your existing selection. The second aspect you should definitely have a look at is ensuring that for your existing selection, you're not missing any opportunities. This missing opportunities happens when you go out of stock, right? Say if you go to your inventory on your header, there is a separate section for inventory health, right? You go to your inventory health and select your warehouse. What you will see are all the inventory that you have, all the low stock, from your products, how many of them are low stock and how many of them are out of stock. I would highly recommend you constantly having a look at this, because on one side for existing products you want to improve sales, but in case you already have some high selling products, you don't want to miss out on any opportunities. So it should not happen that somebody is coming searching for your product, coming to your page and then finding out that you are out of stock. Or out of stock could also be a reason why, in case you're selling multi-seller products, some other seller gets a buy now instead of you because you are out of stock, right? You don't want to see such kind of scenarios. Constantly have an eye on your inventory health low stock page, and then see whether your top selling products are having low stock. I would recommend sellers to always have at least the next 7 days or 14 days of inventory in hand, right? This will ensure that for the next 7 to 14 days at least, you will not go out of stock. Your daily run rate could change on a change rapidly, right? Today you could be selling 2 units per day. Tomorrow suddenly it could improve to 5 units per day. You need to ensure that you have enough inventory to cover all of this. In case you are a part of the FBF program, you should ensure that you have enough in your next consignment to cover for the next 2 weeks or so. You should ensure that all of those insights are very clearly available on the inventory health section, right? I hope you're clear on, for the existing selection, what you can possibly do, right? Now, it could also happen that you also want to diversify your portfolio. You want to bring in fresh products also that you want to start selling, correct? So for this, there are two options, right? Either for the new product, new selection that you want to venture into, you could want to latch onto existing products which are selling very well, or you might want to bring in fresh selection. We will go through the first aspect. For products, so of course you will want to sell the top selling products on Flipkart, right? So if you go to flipkart.com, if you search for your category, you will see a series of products. There are some bestsellers, there are some trendsetters, there are some new and trendy products. You should also evaluate if you can actually procure some of these products and you can also start selling them, because now it is very well established that these products are selling a lot on Flipkart. These are getting a lot of visibility and these are getting a lot of sale. This gives a very good opportunity for you also to latch on to these products, increase your selection as well, and ensure that you get sales for all these. Where you can see this is, of course, you can go to flipkart.com and see what are the top selling products, but you can also go to my listings. Under my listings, there is add a new listing. You can search for your category, right? Say, for example, you can search for categories that you are already selling in. And then if you choose a specific vertical, it is already going to tell you what are all the best selling products under these verticals. Wherever, I mean, in case brand approvals and trademark certificates or copyright certificates are required, I would recommend you going through that process. Or listings that are immediately available for selling, I highly recommend you selling these because these are already very well selling products, right? Once you actually latch on to these, you should ensure, of course, whatever we covered in the first 10 minutes, you should ensure you have good service quality, you should ensure you have good procurement SLA, and you should ensure that you're pricing properly so that you even get the buy button. After you get buy button, anyway, these are good selling products. If you optimize your listing attributes, which are basically your price, maybe you sign up for a promotion, maybe you have good service quality and you have very low returns for these, they will start selling like hotcakes, and you will see a significant improvement on these products. The other possibility is you bringing in fresh selection onto the platform. In order to help you with that process, if you go under listings, if you hover on that header menu, there is a separate section for selection insights, right? This gives you, for the set of categories that you are already selling in, what are some of the things that people on Flipkart.com are searching for? What are they not getting on the platform, right? This opens up a huge opportunity for all sellers to figure out if they can bring in selection in any of these areas and if they can actually start selling these products. Because we know for a fact that these are products that customers are searching for, but they are not buying because that selection is just not available on Flipkart. So if you are able to bring in these kind of selection, it will start selling really well, right? So say you can also click on any of these products to see what are some generic items that people are looking for, and then you can also see how many people have searched for these products in the recent past, and this is a huge opportunity that everyone should look at, right? On the same page, if you actually scroll down a bit, you will see product trends as well. This also gives you good information on what are some of the existing products on Flipkart and how are they performing, how are their sales going. I would also recommend for your verticals, for your set of categories, you can apply some filters as well to find out how they map, but you should also try to latch on to some of these products because, as I said, these are already selling really well, right? So broadly, we have covered two areas. One is increasing units for your existing selection, for your portfolio that you already have. There we covered you going through your impressions, product page views, and your sales and optimizing on multiple attributes so that you can increase your sales. We also went through how you can avoid missing opportunities of sale. That is by avoiding that you don't stock out. You always have stock for your best-selling products. We also saw how you do not miss out on opportunities to win the buy button by constantly checking price recommendations, and you get the buy button in case you're selling last on products. We also looked at how you can look at fresh product opportunities via selection insights, and you can bring into the right selection. You can bring in the right selection, or you can latch on to the best selling products on Flipkart, right? The other aspect that I want to briefly cover are your returns, right? Because returns are also going to critically impact your settlement values. If you we recently also started sharing settlement values on an email. You should also analyze that deeply. Any return that you get, you are going to be charged. Any reverse pickup that happens, you are going to be charged. So by also constantly looking at your returns, by analyzing which products of yours are getting very high returns, you can optimize your portfolio as well. So I'm talking about when you go under performance overview, when you look at customer returns, right? And when you go into details, you will know why your customer returns are happening. Is it misshipment? Is it a quality issue, or is it anything else? You will also know which products of yours are being returned frequently and for what reason. This also gives you enough inputs for you to go back and do this analysis on your side itself on why some of these mistakes are happening. In case these mistakes are happening at your end, you can definitely play a role. You can definitely correct these so that your return percentage goes down. If your return percentage goes down, your product quality is going to improve, your seller rating is going to improve, and you're going to have more sales. But most importantly, your settlement value is also going to improve. Higher the settlement value, higher is going to be your profitability as well, right? So these are some of the areas that I wanted to cover. Some of these recommendations and insights is already available on the dashboard. Our entire team is also constantly looking for different types of other insights and recommendations that we can build. But until we get there, I've already told you what the secret sauce is. If I was a seller, these are the things that I would constantly look at. So yeah, I highly encourage you to look, do a deep analysis of your existing portfolio, their performance, deep analysis of what are the new products that you can bring in, and that should definitely play a role in you increasing your sales. So yeah, so that's it from my side. Maybe we can look at some specific questions.
Sure. So the questions that we have are as follows. That is, just a minute.
Is Flipkart doing anything to promote specific categories? As I already said, we constantly keep having deals of the day, deals of the week going on, and these are typically spread across multiple categories. You should definitely sign up for these. You get a lot of visibility on Flipkart.com when you sign up for any of these offers, so that is something you should definitely try. There are also some deals that you constantly keep seeing, products below 299, products below 399, etc. So that is also something you can try. For some categories, we have also realized that your shipping fee also plays a significant role in your sales. Say, for example, for lifestyle products which don't have a shipping fee definitely have much higher sales. They see a much higher conversion. So removing shipping fee is also something that you should try. I'm not saying you should keep that permanently. You can just play around with it. You try it for a week, see if it is giving you better conversions, and then you can see how you want to optimize your pricing as well between your FSP and your local, zonal, national shipping fees. Sorry, one other area that I missed covering is improving on your regional utilization. FBF is going to significantly help in that particular aspect. Once you reach a particular threshold of sales, you will be invited to the FBF program, and definitely products which are on FBF will sell better. This information is also available as part of growth opportunity, as part of performance overview. You have a separate section for regional utilization as well. That is also something that you should be constantly looking at. Yeah, so there's one question around sales from Nitin Tandon. The sales dip since Feb. I already told you how you can possibly look at it. Go and see if just your sales is dropping or if your impressions itself are dropping. If your impressions are dropping, just do a PLA for maybe a week or so. Impressions will be back up. After that, everything else should do. But this analysis is something which is very important. You should be doing regularly. And one sale so far by customer feedback from the product. Yeah, Jake Kama, the question is around having very low sales. I'm afraid you can only get additional feedback if you improve your sales. I already told you some ways in which I would go through this process. You can try it out and you can see. Right. Yeah, so some of these other questions are also, I think a good chunk of these are from new sellers. For new sellers, I would definitely recommend PLA because see, end of the day, we have a lot. We have lakhs and lakhs of products on Flipkart. All of these products are constantly trying to get visibility on the platform, right? Some of these products will get visibility organically. In other places, you definitely should try other ways in which you can merchandise, you can increase visibility. DOTD is something I've already spoken about. PLA is something I've already spoken about. These are opportunities for you. You should be playing around with these aspects to improve your visibility to start with. Maybe something very simple. Don't put your PLA for all your products. Just put PLA for products which are already getting some visibility, right? So if there are 10 products that you can choose from your portfolio, maybe just do the best PLA on the best 10 products that you have. Best 10 products in terms of visibility that they're already getting on the platform. Now you further increase this visibility, definitely some of them are going to convert to sales, right? That is maybe a quick thing that any new seller can try out.
A couple of sellers are asking queries with regards to smart fulfillment, Flipkart fulfillment. If we can just help them clarify that.
Meaning the difference between the two, or how to sign up for
what exactly is it?
Yeah, so we have three ways of fulfillment. Okay, one is very basic, which is seller fulfillment. That is how all of us start our business on Flipkart. Basically, when you get an order, you need to do the pick, pack, and the dispatch of these products, which means all the products are sitting in your warehouse, and you manually handle the pick, pack, and dispatch. Here, you will get to decide what the procurement SLA is. People can choose any value from 1 to, I think the maximum limit is 15. But as I said, I recommend people to have a much lesser procurement SLA, preferably 1 or maximum 2 days, right? The second model that we operate is called Flipkart fulfillment. Basically, you forward deploy your inventory, you forward deploy your products to one of Flipkart's warehouses. Flipkart has, I think, around 6 to 8 warehouses across the country. The advantage that you get is all your hassles of actually managing your pick, pack, and your dispatch are taken care by Flipkart. And of course, they are going to charge you a nominal fee for doing these things. But the advantage that you get if you forward deploy to FBF, one I already mentioned, you can focus your energies on just managing your business. You need not worry about the logistics of actually fulfilling your orders. Second aspect, since you are deploying to some particular warehouse, your shipment SLA is going to be much lower. And as I already mentioned, customers like to buy products which get delivered faster. And Flipkart fulfillment does guarantee a much faster delivery, because some part of the supply chain is already taken care. It is already halfway in the journey. From there, it just has to reach the customer. So it has much faster procurement shipment time as well. A third big advantage, there are some quality checks done while importing your products, because of which you already get the F assured badge. And I already mentioned products which get F assured badge sell significantly better than products which don't have the F assured badge. Fourth advantage, these get access to Flipkart Plus customers. Flipkart Plus customers, they place a huge amount of orders. So you get all these advantages if you get into the Flipkart fulfillment program, right? Of course, it is also a gated program, which means not all sellers get invited to place their products in a Flipkart warehouse. Once you reach a particular threshold of sales, once you have decent seller quality and product quality, only those kind of sellers will be invited to Flipkart fulfillment, right? Third one, smart fulfillment is like a combination of the two. Basically, the inventory is still lying at your warehouse, but there is a miniature warehouse ka setup that we will come and put on your location itself. So you will have scanners to import your products. You need to promise a 2-hour shipment for all these products. Basically, you also sign up for the express program. You have to work even on Sundays, so that your procurement SLA will become extremely small, and you need to guarantee that inventory is available. These products also get the F assured badge, so you will get much better visibility and much better sales conversions. So yeah, these are three models in which we operate. That's the difference between these three fulfillment models. I hope I answered this question. There is some explanation about this on the seller learning center pages as well, so you can go back and have a look at that.
There's this question by RK Singh.
RK Singh, after starting selling on Flipkart, I'm noticing. Yeah, so this is a question from RK Singh on you trying to sell for the last 5-6 months. As I said, since you're a new seller, you definitely need to increase visibility of your products. So have a look. See, as I mentioned, right, just don't put PLA on all your products. Put PLA maybe on the top 10 products. Now let the visibility of that kick in. The advantage in doing something like this, maybe it's a quick hack that I'm sharing. Advantage in doing that is you're not wasting your money on other products, right? For PLA, you're spending money on every click that you get. Don't waste your money on listings which are not getting any visibility at all. Put your money on listings which are getting some kind of a visibility, boost it further. Maybe for a while, set a very high cost per click, which means you want to spend a lot of money for your ads, right? Maybe temporarily for a 1 week period, you set a very high cost per click and see what happens. You keep experimenting with these cost per click, and at some point of time, I'm sure you will get good visibility, and I'm sure if your product is very well priced as well, you will definitely get a sale. There's a comment by Kulbhushan Taneja that my voice is not being heard. I hope you are able to hear me now. Yeah, is there any paid service? Flipkart knows they're going to boost sale. Yes, we do have a paid account management service. You can contact seller support and you can request them to give you this option. You will get a paid account manager support for the first for a month or two. And they will definitely constantly keep giving you tips. They will analyze your account. They will give you tips on how to grow business. I recommend you contacting seller support and request for a paid account manager as well. There are some questions I don't exactly understand. Just 1 second. Are you guys able to hear me? I hope you are. Does the impression count hits from sellers via the seller panel? Like when I change the price, I view the listing view on Flipkart tab. Yes, so any views on Flipkart tab definitely will get counted as an impression. So yeah, how do we?
So just give us a minute. Some problem with the webcam. Let me just fix it.
Is audio fine?
Yeah, audio is fine. Yeah, yeah.
Sale is high, but courier return is high. So yeah, RTO and courier return is something that we are working on. It is more. So one way in which you can try to reduce your courier return is to reduce your SLA. What we have seen is typically people order, they wait for 3 or 4 days. If they've not received their product, they just do a return. Right, so people don't want to wait for a very long time, more than 5-6 days, to receive their deliveries, right? So your procurement SLA plays a big role in reducing RTO. So that is something that you should evaluate, something that you should go back and check for your products.
If we can read the questions for everyone.
Yeah, I'm just going through it. How to sign up for Express program is a question. You can just directly contact seller support and they will lead you to the right team. You can sign up for an Express program. Sometimes other sellers latch on to one, then sell. They will not manage the specification with this. Yeah, so when other sellers latch on to your products, the question is around other sellers latching on and selling products which are of lower quality. You can definitely raise an infringement claim. I'm assuming that you already have a trademark certificate or a copyright certificate for selling these products. With those, you can raise a claim, and in case the others don't have these certificates, these products will be delisted and you will be the only lone seller for this, right? Other option that you can also do, I already mentioned, we have these recommendations so that you constantly win the buy button. You should try to win the buy button and then you should try to get a sale for all these products. It could so happen that a product could be selling 50 units a day, but since you don't have the buy button, you're only selling 2. You only get buy button for very, very rare scenarios. So to avoid these, ensure that you are constantly priced better. We know for a fact that price plays a significant role. Price, and also by price I also mean promotions, play a significant role in you getting sales. So you should evaluate these options. Brand registry at Flipkart, format of letter. You can contact support. They should be able to share sample files with you. I think even on dashboard we do have sample files, so you should be able to download from there and have a look. Right? How to procure other branded products in business selling rate? Not. I'm not very sure. I don't clearly understand the question. Courier return I already answered. Opting in for different FBA warehouses, does it increase the visibility of your products? Definitely yes. As I mentioned, when you go to FBF, you get FSO tag, you get much faster procurement SLA. So this definitely reduces, this definitely increases the visibility of your product. It also increases the possibility of conversion of sale as well. How to manage courier and customer return? Courier return I've already answered. For customer return, the best thing that you should, I mean, the one thing that you should be doing, I think we also covered it briefly, is you going through why your returns are happening. Is it happening because of misshipment or any mistake on your side, or is it happening because of any further reason? We also have this information available in a downloadable format. You can download that raw file and you can see why these are happening. We also share some sub reasons for each of these. You can go through that as well. You should also definitely analyze all the the reviews that you're getting for your products. When people rate your products and put in reviews, they also put some comments about product quality as well. So go through the verbatim reviews. This information is also available on seller dashboard and on the seller app. So have a look at those. You should be able to reduce your customer returns. Yeah. Do we get F assured badge? F assured badge, I already mentioned, you will get it if you're part of the Flipkart fulfillment program or smart fulfillment program. So sign up for these, hit those basic threshold levels, sign up for these, and then you will get the F assured badge. Returns, yeah. I'm not going through all these questions because we already answered some of these. I'm only taking specific unique questions. Doesn't the recent QA relationship? The sellers are treated at parity, basically, yeah. So even now we do look at all your listings, your listing attributes, and only then the visibility comes up. Sellers are being treated at parity. That I can already assure you. What are the charges for F assured? So for smart fulfillment and for FBF, we have detailed pages on Seller Learning Center. You can go have a look, and that has all the details of charges and stuff, rate card and all of them. What should be an ideal ROI? It again depends. If you are putting investment on a best-selling products, your ROI will be much higher. If you're putting it on weaker products, your ROI will be lower. You can always play around with it. There is also a separate option for a smart ROI program. You can play around with it. End of the day, ROI is something that you decide, right? You will have to see how much return you want to get for your investment. So I would recommend anywhere between a 7 plus ROI is very good for you. But again, that depends on good products, the kind of products that you're putting your ROI for. If your product is very, very new, right, then your ROI is expected to be low. Because for very new products, you're starting from scratch, you're starting from zero. At this point of time, your ROI is expected to be low. But this is one big lever through which you can improve visibility of your products. Now, what happens? The flywheel will anyway kick in. You improve visibility, somebody will buy, they will give you some rating. Your service quality metrics will start maturing. Your listing quality will start maturing. And after that, further sales will start coming in. You don't have to artificially boost by putting a PLA. For products that are already selling well, if you put a PLA, your ROI is going to be much higher. It can be like 8 plus, 9 plus also. Yeah, can you go down? I want to convert to a gold seller from bronze. I mean, I've given you a series of tips how you can probably increase your sales. You have good sales. If you have good service quality and product quality metrics, you will become silver, and of course, you will end up becoming gold at some point of time. It will not happen overnight. It will not, to be very frank, it will also not happen in 1 month period, right? It is a slow cycle to move from bronze to a gold. By bronze also, I don't know where you currently stand. Do you stand at like a 10 units per day seller or a 100 units per day seller? But it is a slow process. I would definitely request all of you to have some patience. Any of these online selling is like you having a startup, and it is going to take its own sweet time to mature and for your business to grow. Got Supermart under this product is the categories. Yeah, to sign up for any specific vertical or any specific category, you can get in touch with seller support. They will completely guide you with that particular process. I'm pretty sure there's also enough content on Seller Learning Center as well. I dispatched the product same day, then also I got courier returns. Yeah, some amount of courier returns. It does happen. I mean, customer behavior is something that it's very hard for us to shape as well. But that's why for courier return, we don't charge anything on sellers, right? So we ensure that you are not penalized because of this. How to identify fraud buyers? In case if you see that the particular buyer pattern is very wrong, it's very flawed, and if you think that the buyer is a fraudulent buyer, you can definitely raise a case with seller support. We have a separate trust and safety team which looks into all of these things. We externally do a buyer verification as well. We look at the other past behavior of the buyers, and we do penalize these buyers as well. So we completely block them from Flipkart platform. They cannot buy from Flipkart anymore. We block their phone numbers and email IDs, so they cannot register a fresh account as well. There is a request for this recording. I'm pretty sure that will be shared. How can I maintain orders number higher? Someday I get 250, the next day I get 50. How can I maintain orders of 250? I gave a series of inputs, right? You ensure you have enough visibility, you ensure that you have enough stock, you ensure that you're priced properly, you ensure that you sign up for the right promotions, you will be able to maintain your orders at the same run rate, right? But also one more thing that you should also, you might have already figured out, is your sales trend will not remain the same on a daily basis. When we are also shopping, right? We tend to spend more time shopping on Friday, Saturday, Sundays. But middle of the week, we are also very busy with work that we don't shop enough. So don't be worried about your daily sales rate. Don't track my Sunday ka sales rate versus a Monday ka sales rate. Look at it on a much broader scale. Maybe compare every Sunday compared to the previous Sunday, compared to the same time frame last month. So look at those kind of metrics. Don't get disheartened if one day you don't get enough sale. look at it on a weekly basis, because customers' shopping behavior also is like that. You will see your trends also will be telling the same thing. Your impression trends also on a weekly basis, it keeps changing. But week on week, you should ensure that it remains the same. You should ensure that every Sunday you should be getting at least the same or higher impressions than the previous Sunday. Right. If account is suspended, how we reinstate that? You can go to your manage profile. There's a separate section where you can see the reason why your account has been made pending. In case you need more clarity, you can contact support, or you can go through our help links. It should give a very good clarity of why your account is pending and how to bring it back on track. Yeah, some of these questions are just repeat of what I already covered. They're about my sales are dipping. How do I bring it back, or how to increase sales? We've covered that quite a few times. Good question that you see.
Priya will check about the SPN partner and get back to you with our external team.
Yeah, Dilip Nankarni, there's a question about how do you optimize price for the product. Again, you should be taking different strategies. If you are selling products which are latched onto some other product, you should be looking at winning the buy now. For that, we already give buy now recommendations. Of course, we also have not scaled this up significantly. In case you are not getting buy now recommendations, a very simple thing you can do is go to Flipkart and then see currently do you have the buy button or not. If you don't have the buy button, see who has the buy button, and you should evaluate how are his attributes compared to your attributes. Check their seller score and how you are positioned against that, right? So I've already told you simple tricks, simple things that you should be looking for, which will help you win the buy button. You can definitely do all of those, right? For a 2000 rupee budget, we get only 140 rupees revenue. I already mentioned you can optimize your PLA. PLA also has this concept of a recommended listings for a PLA. I think you should give that a shot. As I also mentioned, also see that you have enough money invested for every product. If you have 1000 rupees, don't put that on all 100 products of yours, because the price invested per product is only going to be 10 rupees. It probably will not add enough value, right? Try to ensure that you have 100 rupees per product. I'm not saying increase your PLA spend. For the same PLA spend, optimize, choose the right set of listings that you want to put for a PLA. You should definitely see benefit for the listings that you sign up for. Yeah, I have just started checking. Organically, there's a question about how can I boost my product's visibility organically. I already mentioned some of the levers. You can do promotions. Deal of the day works amazingly well. Promotion sign up also is made really easy now via the seller app. On the app itself, you can view all the promotions that are currently running, what are the deal of the day, what are some sale events that we are conducting, and you should sign up for some of these aspects as well, right? Of course, you should evaluate which ones are ideal listings for these, but I highly recommend you signing up for all of them. Promotions, if you ask me, if I was a seller, I would invest in promotions, because there's no upfront cost from my side. For PLA, I'm spending money, but for promotions, there's no upfront cost. If there's a sale, you will have to bear some amount of the burn, but that is still okay. For new products, you should be willing to take some amount of burn, because over time the flywheel will kick in. If the product starts selling a lot more, who knows, maybe you will also get the new and trendy tags, now recently best-selling tags, etc. on Flipkart.com itself. When they come up on Flipkart.com, on the first page, your sales is going to grow significantly, right? One other thing that you can possibly check, which I've heard from few of the sellers, is you also go and see which page on Flipkart.com your products feature in. And I already told you some of the ways in which you can constantly boost this visibility. If you're on page 1 or till page 5, your products should be getting enough visibility. If not, there are so many ways in which you can boost visibility, which we've already covered. Sorry. Eligible to change crossed. I'm not sure what tag you're talking about. There's a question about changing the tag.
So Bhupendra, if you can please elaborate the question, what tag are you speaking about which might get changed later? That would be great.
What's the minimum search term percentage you're looking for as per you guys? I'm assuming Abhishek Bhatia, I think your question is about selection insights. just sort it based on, I mean, you yourself can sort it based on which is getting the best search terms, right? Anything which is getting more than 1,000 should be good. 1,000 people are looking for a particular product, but they're not getting it. If you bring in that selection, you will get 1,000 impressions, right? Think about it. Even if you have, say, a 10% page views from that and a 5% conversion, these 1,000 will translate to 1 unit per day. That will be significant in the long run, right? There was a question about marketing your products on Facebook. I don't think you can market your entire store as such, but definitely there's nothing stopping you from posting your product link on Facebook. Your friends will see it, and then they will definitely come and explore this product. That is also a way in which you can boost visibility for these products, right? Bronze to silver or silver to gold, Bhupendra Singh. Yeah, we
change of tag.
Can a seller be eligible to change that
Talking
tag?
about the tiering, I guess.
The tier tag, yeah, the tier tag. Unfortunately, sellers don't have ability to directly change it, but we have published the criteria that you need to achieve in order to become silver or in order to become gold, right? That criteria is very clear. We are very transparent about it as well. One of the basic things that you need to do is increasing. You hit our basic thresholds in terms of units and in terms of service quality and product quality. Once you hit, you don't have to do much. I mean, we will give you the gold or silver rating in the next tiering cycle. How do we find products which are trending? By Dilip Nankani.
I've already answered that.
Perfect.
Listing
we covered through selection insights, or you can go to add new product. There also you will get to see the best-selling products. Simple. Go to Flipkart.com and enter your category, see the best-selling products, and you can latch onto
Plus, every day, as per the vertical, we have this hashtag Aapka Fayda campaign, which we are running. So emails are being sent to each and every seller who belongs to that particular vertical for that day. Keep an eye on your email. You would always keep receiving such recommended listings to post.
Yeah, so there's a question by Stormbase about how to procure. I mean, that is where you come in, right? That's where the kind of contacts and the kind of network that you have comes into picture. We can only tell you what are the best-selling products. We can recommend that you should be doing here, but end of the day, yeah, that is what you bring to the table. Right. What all such criteria for smart fulfillment? Basically, you should already be part of the Express program. So only Express sellers get invited for smart. You should be part of Express program. And I can tell you right away, if you sign up for Express program, since the procurement SLA is going to be much lesser, you will definitely see a boost in your visibility. You will immediately see a boost in your impressions and your sales conversions. That I can even tell you now itself. Typically, what you've seen is Express sellers get a 10% higher visibility and higher conversions and higher units than normal non-Express sellers, right? So once you become an Express seller and once you hit some basic thresholds in terms of units and service quality, because now you're promising a 2-hour SLA, right? And if you can prove that in those 2 hours you can actually fulfill all your orders with minimum seller cancellations and minimum RTD breaches, you will be invited for the smart program. Smart program for now, it's invite only. As I already mentioned, we are scaling it up slowly, but you satisfy this condition, you will get this option.
How do we sign up for Express program? Dilip, you can reach out to our seller support team. They would go ahead and take the nomination and forward it to our Express team. You can do it right away. Abhishek, we have already responded to your question, that is good minutes search traffic report percentage. Once you have the recording, you can re-listen to it. Meanwhile, looking at a couple of more questions. Priya, I've already responded to you. How do we sign up for Express? That's done. And Tarun already responded to you. Looking for this, have we taken this question?
What's the difference between impression and page views under search traffic report? I'll take a simple example. Go to Flipkart.com and search for shoes or search for anything, search for toys, right? On the first page, you will see 40 different products that are shown, right? That particular page, if your product has been visible, not specifically page 1, but on any of these pages, it's the number of such impressions that your product has got. That is what I refer to as impressions, right? Now, among these 40 products, customers will go and click on a particular product, which means they go to your particular product cup page and they are seeing all details of this particular product, its images, its catalog attributes and stuff like that. When somebody goes to this product page, that gets tagged as a page view. Units is just units, right? How many sales you've got. So impression is the overall page. If somebody searches and then your product comes up, or if somebody comes through the browse, if I go search under, say for example, electronics, and then I choose laptops and I see a list of laptops, that even through that channel, the basic impression that your product has, along with other products as well, that is counted as an impression.
A very interesting question. Why is it compulsory to work 365 days a year for smart
Yeah, so
seller?
see, as I've already mentioned, right, you get the FO tag as well. What we promise customers is products which FO tag have much faster delivery. Much faster delivery also includes you working on Sundays as well. I understand it is a concern. It is a concern that has been raised by a lot of sellers, but that is the expectation from customers as well, right? So, and we are only trying to satisfy the expectation from customers. I know it is a slight pain on the seller side, but that is something that we all have to live with.
And Prateek, when you say at least Sunday should be the holiday, to be very honest, weekends are the best targets for sellers, because that is where your customers are specifically
Exactly, yeah.
sitting at home, browsing and purchasing things. So if Sunday is off, then the chances of them choosing different seller is always high. And
But I'll give you a simple workaround for that as well, right? If you are not happy with this, you can definitely, if you're already eligible for Smart, you can definitely put in a request for Flipkart fulfillment, and you can put, if you can forward when your consignment to Flipkart fulfillment. Flipkart fulfillment works 7 days, and as I mentioned, your hassle of fulfilling products on all 7 days is taken off. Every day is a vacation for you.
how to set vacation?
How to set vacation is via manage profile. You can go under there's a separate section for calendar, and you can set a long vacation as well. Is your screen?
No. Just
Yeah, I've answered the question.
Okay.
There's a separate section for calendar under manage profile. To go to manage profile, I'm pretty sure you guys know it. From
Next to
homepage,
it.
there's a link, or you can click on your name. There's an option for manage profile. Yeah. Will it affect for express seller where our logistics is not operational for Sunday? No. For express, Sunday is not a mandatory thing. You can be an express seller with your weekly off on Sundays, but for Smart, since there are a lot of additional perks that you also get along with it, Sunday is a mandatory thing.
Tarun, I guess you are applying for vacation after Shivratri, because you need to apply for vacation before the holiday.
Yeah.
You might be trying to apply now. That's the reason it's not taking in. Shivratri was on 4th. So requesting to keep that in mind.
Holidays, you can only request for a holiday 2 days in advance. So today is the 14th. The earliest day I can set is 17th. Usual price will increase returns. Why?
Nothing as such.
Usual price will not increase returns. The advantage you get with usual price is now, even if you reduce your price below usual price, you will get a specific call out that it is cheaper than usual, right? Those are the advantages that you will get. It will not increase it should not increase your returns. I don't know where.
On top of that, your customers would have better clarity about the offers that they are getting for that product, which would always go ahead and help you further. Priya, unfortunately, will not be able to call you back. The only way is if you send an email. Would request you to do that. Sir, please tell me something about search keywords.
Yes, Dilip, I'm assuming your question is around the selection insights that we covered a bit a while back. What your search keyword basically talking about is what are the specific or what are the types of keywords that customers are coming and entering on Flipkart.com and in search of specific types of products, right? But for some reason, those products are not available. So how we do it is there's a lot of algorithms, machine learning, and data sciences that goes behind it. But in short, search keywords are specific keywords or types or clusters of keywords that customers are looking for, but then they do not go any further, which basically means they did not click on any product also, which basically means the products they are looking for was just not visible. If products they're looking for is not visible, it becomes a missed selection, and that is an opportunity for you.
There's another question where someone is asking, how can we reduce return? If you can have, because this is again a very common question, if we can elaborate a bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we covered a bit of it earlier, but sure, I can go a bit into the details again. Reducing returns, first step, again, if I'm a seller, the first thing I would do is go to my dashboard and see which are the products. Is return happening for specific types of products? Is it happening for a very specific product, or is it happening for all my products, right? A starting point is you go under growth, performance overview, and look at customer returns. This tells you what are your customer returns for each and every vertical that you operate in, right? To get very specific details, you also go under the details section. This gives you data for over the last 30 days or even longer about totally how many returns you have got. You can choose your specific categories. You can also choose by specific FSNs as well. How I would go about it is I would look at products which have had the highest returns. So if you go on the details section on the right, you have details of how many products delivered and how many returned units happened. This also have details of what are the breakup of the return reasons. Is it misshipment? Is it something else? Or is it a quality issue? This feedback is what we are getting from customers, right? On why some of these returns happen. What you should also be doing is, on the top, if you see, you have an option to download last 90 days data. If you download the last 90 days data, this at a SKU level, at a listing level, it gives you both the reason, but it also gives you a sub reason. A sub reason specifically talks about the reasons given by customers, right? Say, for example, let me just take an example. Give me a second. There are so many sub-reasons that you get over here. It could be, say, for example, it is a different brand that you received, that the customer received. It's a different product that the customer received. They ordered for something else, but something else got shipped, right? It could be a poor material. It could be anything else, right? This is a lot of input to the kind of products that you're selling. If, say, for example, you're a manufacturer, you can take all these as inputs and see how you can optimize on these, right? Unfortunately, we will not be able to take actions on historical returns that have happened, right? On older returns, you will not be able to do much. But this, if you're a product company, if you're a manufacturer or a retailer or any of these scenarios, right? You can take these inputs for the next set of products or the new batch of products that you're manufacturing. Or this you can give to your sourcing teams to figure out, okay, how can you source these products better from better sourcing partners? This is one definite area that you should look at. The second aspect of reducing returns is to look at your product or reviews, right? There's a lot of information available in your reviews as well. If constantly people are calling out bad quality or they're calling out misshipment or any of these things in your reviews, that also is an additional data point that you can look at to reduce your returns, right? So to summarize, you should definitely go under performance overview, go to your customer returns section. You do have vertical overviews. You also have specific SKU level details. Download this data. Do this for, say, a couple of months, right? And you will definitely get a lot of inputs into what are the products that you are selling which has high returns. One other simple tip, I don't know whether I'm allowed to share this or not, but simple tip that you can also look at your returns. If there are products which have very, very high returns, say 50% returns you have on certain products, just stop selling those products, because these returns are also impacting your seller score. Bad seller score also impacts your conversions, right? So look at products which have extremely high returns and you yourself reevaluate whether you want to sell it or not.
Perfect. In order to add on to that, what you can do later down the line is stop all such products for a few days, and one at a time try to understand which is the product that has been doing better later down the line. I mean, this is an experiment that obviously they can go ahead and try. Another question by Manish. Manish, as per your question that you have 600 plus SKU in footwear, but your sales are pretty less, 10 pairs around a day, I guess you can go ahead and try promotions and advertising. Definitely you need it, and ensure, like already mentioned by Raj, that pick up the best selling product and start advertising them. Do not mix match your product. Sellers who are asking about call out, usual price, I'm really sorry, we wouldn't be talking about this in today's webinar. We had a webinar 2 days back about the same, and tomorrow also we have a webinar. Keep an eye on your seller learning center events calendar. That is our webinar calendar. We have scheduled ample amount of webinars for you, requesting you all to be a part of it. Tomorrow we have a focused Q&A session for usual price at 12:30. Please be a part of it.
Yeah, there's a question about from Dilip about you've been selling for 5 months, you don't see any reviews. I mean, sometimes it does happen. Our typical reviews and ratings rate itself is only around 10% of your customers who give a rating, and it's much lower, only around 3-4% of your overall customers put a review. Wait for some time, reviews will come up, right? One other quick hack that you can try. We also see that even if you don't have a review, right? There are a lot of question answers. There are buyer questions that now come up on the page, right? Ensure that you have answers for all of them. Even if they're not reviews, if you answer all your buyer questions, that itself gives a significant boost in confidence in customers that they can come and buy your products.
That is another sellable point. Please do not ignore your buyer's question. You can go to listings tab and check. If you need help, I can help you with our webinar recordings that we had earlier so that you can understand how to do it. Bhupendra ji, I'm sorry, I don't have much. If you can please repeat the question that you would require the clarity for, that would be great. Next, we'll be taking a couple of more questions before we wrap up.
Yeah, how do we know whether our ads are visible under the correct or relevant keywords? I think last 2 weeks back also there was a webinar by the ads team, but I'll just maybe quickly try to give my thoughts on that. When you try to create a campaign, right, we create different ad groups. For each of these ad groups, there is a concept of excluded keywords. So you can exclude certain keywords where you don't want your ads to be visible. If you think if you're selling, say, dusters, and if you realize that whenever somebody is searching for markers, your products are being, your ads are being consumed, you can just add markers as an exclusion, right? There is a concept of exclude keywords as well, which you can definitely try and play around with. And I'm pretty sure Manisha will be organizing, or some other team will be organizing specific webinars on PLA.
PLA we just had yesterday. Most of the sellers were already a part of our yesterday's webinar. Along with that, we have our next PLA session next week, and on 27th and on 28th, we have a focused leaders live session. So whoever is interested, please be a part of that.
Can we learn more about buyer questions?
I'll share the webinar data, the webinar recording with all of you. Just give me a minute over here, trying to find the recording.
Yeah, but you will get it. You will be sharing it. Definitely there should be SLC content as well about buyer questions.
SLC, it's already there. Sellers, what you can do is you can go to Seller Learning Center. Let me just show the page for you. You can go to Seller Learning Center, and if you click on all webinar recordings, so just a minute.
Also, one other thing you can also try, go to My Listings, you choose any particular listing, right? When you click on any particular listing, there's a side panel that opens up, right? On that panel, you'll see 3 or 4 tabs. One of those tabs is buyer questions, and the first thing that we show is some answering guidelines and frequently asked questions. So we have a good amount of content hosted on Seller Learning Center. First of all, you should understand answering guidelines, and after you understand, you should start putting in these answers.
Exactly, and you also have this thing, I have shared the recording, so anything that you require, either you can go to all webinar recording or easy guide for seller. So over here it says the first 2 things are seller answering buyer question, Hindi and English both. So you can look at it, and accordingly, if you like it, then, or if you have any doubt, you can always reach out to us. Meanwhile, that's again a very normal question. Would like to take that.
The question is around, can you provide us customer contacts? We will talk to them and reduce the number of bad comments or poor ratings. Unfortunately, we don't share customers. It's against our, though we do want to be a very transparent marketplace, but this is not something that we would want to share. But we are evaluating some ways in which buyers and sellers can communicate. Maybe once it is launched, we will have this option as well. We will expose that option to you, right? Yes, there's a question by Aditya. There are a lot of there are courier returns where there's a lot of fraud happening. We do have an SPF process for this. Maybe to start with, right? If sellers are very conscious, what I've seen is there are some sellers who even take pictures of their products before shipping these, right? Before dispatching these products. That is not actually a very bad thing to do. I understand it's going to be a slight operational overhead for you. You are going to spend 10 minutes extra in shipping your products, but maybe in the initial stage of your business, when you're fulfilling, say, 10-20 orders a day, it's not a bad idea to take a picture before you actually fulfill your product. You take a picture, of course, nowadays all cameras, even our phone cameras are advanced enough to save the timestamp of the images as well, right? So before you dispatch, you can click a picture. If you're getting a fake return, you can take a picture, you can raise an SPF claim. And I'm pretty sure for such cases, the claim a significant amount of the money will be returned to you.
So a couple of questions about SPF, that is Seller Protection Fund. You can go to Seller Learning Center, on the search box type SPF. You'll be able to see a lot of articles where you can learn about the policies. And soon we are coming with an SPF webinar. I'm sure that it will be helpful for all of you. We are not disclosing the dates as of now, but keep an eye on your calendar. Next. Dilip, I'm sorry, the dates of return policy is as per company standards. Nothing would be, will not be able to go ahead and make any changes to it until and unless a lot of R&D's been done or accordingly. So sellers, that was pretty much it, and we will be wrapping up our webinar today. And as I have seen that most of the sellers, I would say almost 95% of the sellers want such webinars to be conducted. So we'll be back again next month with some similar webinar, and in different languages if possible, and we will definitely get in touch with you. People who are interested in Express, please get in touch with our seller support team to show your interest so that our team is been notified. Priya will check your email and get back to you soon. Until then, have a beautiful time ahead. Thank you so much, Raj, for your time.
Sure.
And thank you for being with us. We'll see you guys once again later down the line. Until then, happy selling and a very beautiful weekend ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.